Hi, this is the Business Guy, the CEO of Asset Protection Planners, and in this video we'll cover some of the common asset protection examples and why you need them in this crazy world of people suing each other and trying to take your wealth. When you've never had an issue before with a lawsuit or had to face a financial crisis, it can be easy to think that you'll continue to be safe and that you run a good business, you keep your personal and professional life above board, you're an honest, hardworking person. How could you ever be sued or threatened by a creditor? The truth is that bad things can still happen to good people, and you likely have been lucky so far. In fact, the Legal Research Network found that about 15 million lawsuits are filed in the U.S. each year. This means there's one new lawsuit for every 12 adults, and facing those odds every year isn't good. A single lawsuit can wipe out everything you've worked so hard to build. Everything doesn't have to be lost, however. Setting up an asset protection plan now can save you the financial and personal stress you might face later. And if you appreciate this information, please click the like button below so YouTube promotes this video. Thank you so much. You can also click the subscribe button and notification bell. All the cool people are doing it. So when more videos come out like this, you'll be up to date right away. To better understand what asset protection is, let's start out by defining it. Per the Asset Protection Society, asset protection is protecting your wealth from anyone or anything that can take your money. Anybody with a significant amount of wealth should have an asset protection plan to keep wealth safe. The earlier you start forming your plan, the better off you are. Once you are already facing a lawsuit, there are still options, but they become more limited. Your asset protection strategies can be simple or complicated. Plus, the expense of the strategy will vary depending on how much protection you really need. So it's good to have a general understanding of your options. That way, when you talk with one of our asset protection attorneys or consultants, it'll mean so much more to you. Then the two of you can more readily create the best plan for your unique situation. There's a phone number and a website below. You can call for more information or fill out a free consultation form on our website. Examples of threats to your assets. Let's suppose you have a good reputation and you've already been careful with how you use your money. Thus, you may still be skeptical as to why you need asset protection. Any individual or company has potential threats to their assets, especially those with a lot to lose. Now keep in mind, the threats don't end with just lawsuits. Money Crashers breaks down potential liability into two categories, professional and personal. For your business, lawsuits dealing directly with your products or services are a large part of professional liability. These include such possibilities as trademark infringement and breach of contract. Your employees can also threaten your assets when something occurs in the workplace. Examples are sexual harassment, employment discrimination, work-related vehicle accidents, and workers' compensation. Your customers could file a claim of faulty products, malpractice, or having a slip and fall accident on your property. In your personal life, things like divorce, debt, medical bills, and foreclosures are well-known risks to your assets. Other problems can come if you haven't taken specific steps to separate your personal and professional assets. Employee actions and vicarious liability, when your business partner or employee has an accident, can result in lawsuits that threaten your personal assets as well. You can be held liable in an auto accident if you or your dependent drivers are uninsured or underinsured. If somebody gets hurt on your property, regardless if you are present, you might be liable. If you have a callable loan and your lender demands repayment immediately, your assets can be seized to cover the debt. So here are 4 asset protection examples to protect you from lawsuits. To protect yourself or your business from one of these liabilities, there are several different strategies you might consider. Number 1, domestic trusts. One way to keep your assets out of the hands of creditors is with an asset protection trust. Transfer some or all of your assets to a trust run by an independent trustee. Doing so can shield those assets for you and or your children and allow you to receive distributions. There are a variety of different trust types available out there in locations all over the world, although some people generally only think of the wealthy using offshore trusts. There are some options within the U.S. as well. A handful of states, including Alaska, Delaware, Rhode Island, Wyoming, Nevada, and South Dakota, allow asset protection trusts. However, the case law does not look very favorable unless the person and his or her assets are in that state as well. There are several requirements for setting up a domestic asset protection trust, which Investopedia goes on to explain. The trust must be irrevocable and have an independent trustee that is either an individual, bank, or company located in that state or country. Distributions are only allowed at the trustee's discretion, which is called the spendthrift clause. The trust documents, administration, and assets must be either partially or entirely located within that trust jurisdiction. State statutes do vary, however, so it's best to check the laws of that state first. It's very important to note that domestic judges have jurisdiction over domestic trusts. So setting up a trust offshore is a better option for asset protection. An offshore trustee can refuse your domestic court orders. So to maximize asset protection, offshore trusts are some of the strongest legal tools. Number 2, offshore trusts. Here are the strongest of the asset protection examples, the offshore trust. If you choose an offshore trust for your assets, some of the setup and provisions are the same as with domestic trusts. However, offshore or foreign trusts offer a layer of protection you can't get on your own soil, protection from local courts. Here at Asset Protection Planners, we often cite 2 main benefits for the offshore trust. The first is protection from an over-aggressive court system. The fact is, foreign trusts consistently display better results than domestic ones, allowing you to keep more of your assets. Now keep in mind, U.S. people are taxed on worldwide income, so for the U.S. person, these trusts are typically tax neutral. A second benefit is that a judge in your country can't compel a foreign trustee. Thus, the offshore trustee does not need to provide a creditor access to these funds. Even if a creditor decides to pursue the assets, an expensive legal battle would ensue. Moreover, it would ensue in that offshore jurisdiction that is very friendly to debtors, making this option unfavorable for the creditor. A foreign trust still allows you access to the benefits of your assets and gives you extra security. It can also allow the foreign trustee to advise you on the best course of action to grow your assets within that specific trust. The strength and protection of that secure offshore trust will depend on that jurisdiction's laws. The best offshore jurisdictions for offshore trusts are in this order: Cook Islands, Nevis, and Belize. That said, one of the best asset protection trust strategies is this: setting up a Cook Islands trust that owns an offshore LLC. Say your offshore trust owns a Nevis LLC, that's N-E-V-I-S. With this powerful asset protection example, you are the manager of the Nevis LLC. You're the signature on the bank accounts. Then when a legal warning sign arises, you can have our law firm / trustee step in as manager of the LLC. Upon this event, there is not an asset transfer, it's merely a change of managers of an LLC, thus the LLC acts as the remote control of your trust. Number 3, LLCs and Corporations. Creating limited liability companies, LLCs, or corporations have long been cited as strong asset protection strategies. One of the reasons that this strategy protects assets is that the creditor is often limited to a charging order against the membership's interest. A charging order gives the creditor the right to receive distributions from the LLC that would otherwise go to the debtor, but it does not give the creditor access to the ownership of the underlying assets of the LLC. Because the debtor's controlling interest may limit distributions, this means that the creditor may receive little to no actual payment. In addition, with this asset protection example, creating LLCs allows an individual or company to transfer assets in a tax-efficient manner. This can also minimize estate taxes. Plus, you can maintain control of ownership transfers when you hold the LLC manager position. Asset protection example number 4, protecting your vehicle. Now, your personal or business vehicle is one of the riskiest assets that you own. Accidents happen, and even if somebody else is driving your vehicle, you still have the ultimate liability as the owner. If other property or persons are damaged because of an accident, the injured party can sue you. Getting a comprehensive insurance policy on your vehicle, of course, is a good start, but it might not be enough asset protection for vehicular liability. If somebody sues you for more money than your insurance policy is willing to pay, which happens all the time, you could stand to lose a lot without extra protection. Where your insurance policy ends, an LLC can cover the rest. To begin, you create an LLC and transfer the ownership of your personal or professional vehicle to that LLC. Then the defendant in the case of a lawsuit will be the LLC and not you. So here are some examples of asset protection for your most dangerous asset, your vehicle. There are three main reasons to create an LLC for your vehicle. First, if you have one or more family members or third parties that you allow to drive your vehicle, an LLC protects you from the liability of their accident. Second, if you own a vehicle that you use in your business, a separate LLC can help prevent a lawsuit against your business in the event of an accident. Third, if your business owns a vehicle, transferring ownership of those vehicles to a subsidiary LLC that your business owns 100% of can also help prevent vehicle-related lawsuits from coming back to your company. Legal help. When you want to make sure that your assets are safe, make sure you're doing it right by consulting an asset protection professional. It can be difficult to navigate the world of asset protection alone, and having somebody there to assist you can ensure that you have the most complete protection. An asset protection attorney, such as those on our staff, is a person who works with each individual or company to determine which plans, trusts, and business entities will be best to meet their specific situations. He or she looks beyond conventional legal practice to find the best protection for their clients, even if that protection is in a foreign jurisdiction. The main goal of an asset protection consultant is to ensure that they help you protect your assets from flaws in the legal system that might put you at risk now or in the future. No matter which of these asset protection examples are right for you, starting your plan can save you pain when the worst happens to you. Don't wait until it's too late to protect yourself or your business. Call and get a hold of us or complete the free consultation form at assetprotectionplanners.com to have one of our specialists contact you. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Thanks for watching. This is The Business Guy.